Here's something I've realized. Now, you can argue with me on this point, but I've realized that there is no pain in failure. Now, if I was to go back a couple of years, I would have argued the complete opposite because I wrote books that no one read. I made videos that no one watched. I recorded podcast episodes that no one listened to, and those were painful. When I think about it, the pain I felt at the time was I felt, well, that was time wasted, or that I was a loser, and all this kind of negative nonsense was going on in my head. And because I looked at my failure from that perspective, it was painful. And I've realized that, like Wayne Dyer says, if you change your perspective, the world changes because you see it a different way. And I've realized that when you actually change your perspective on failure and how you look at it, or when you actually look at it for something positive, you will find something positive in it. And it doesn't hurt as much when you fail because you realize that, yeah, okay, you had a failure, but there is a good chance you got out of your comfort zone. There could be a chance you've tried something before. There is a good chance you've learned something about yourself, learned something about that craft or that thing that you tried, that when you go back to it a second time, it's going to be better because you've got a little bit of experience under your belt. And I think the reason sometimes we find failure painful is because we've already planned ahead. We've already kind of looked off past this point before we actually try the thing. What I mean by that is before we've actually written the book and published it, we're already looking off at book 2, book 3, book 4. And when we have that failure, we feel that that path is now cut off. Sometimes we kind of get ahead of ourselves. And sometimes when you get ahead of ourselves, when that point is stopped, or when we believe that our success is only on the route that we're going after, then it's painful. But when you realize that the path that maybe you've picked could be the wrong path for you, that life might have chosen a different path for you, that right now the failure that you might have been given, this dead end, means that you need to reverse back, and it means that you need to try a different route, and you might find yourself more successful with this. But unfortunately, we kind of rigidly tie ourselves into this thing has to work, and if it doesn't work, well, then I'm a failure. And because we tie ourselves so closely to it, that's where the pain comes from. So if you are experiencing a bit of pain right now, you're probably going to argue with me at this point. You're probably going to say this fella's full of crap. But I think if you change your perspective on how you see that failure, you'll find something good in the ashes of your failure. And the reason that your failure might be painful right now is because you've already planned on ahead. You've plotted everything out on the other side of this thing that you're trying to do. And now that that avenue is cut off, you feel that everything's cut off. But sometimes we need to be stopped in our tracks. Sometimes we are our own worst enemies, thinking, well, this is what I need to go on. But something in the universe has probably looked further down the road and has realized that that is wrong for you, that you are actually better suited to go in this direction. So maybe this dead end you're in right now could be just the thing you need right now to get you to reverse out of this stubborn lane that you're in and try something out today. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Am I full of it? Or are you agreeing with me? Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.